Hello and welcome to idBeCoolif, where everything's made up and the ideas are stupid. Don't matter. Today we're going to talk about a Warcraft character should be in Heroes of the Storm, and she is Lady Vashj. Who's Lady Vashj? Well, she's the fish lady, the snake fish. What am I talking about? She's Nagadat. She got a big fork. Her people have big forks. She's got a bow, and she eats lightning with a fork, forked lightning, ability number 1, forked lightning. Takes the giant lightning fork and pokes people. No, just kidding. Lady Vashj has a cone aimer, and any enemies in that cone radius will get shocked by the forked lightning, do a zippity zappity. The catch here is that it'll hit as many targets within that cone. However, with each target hit, it'll cost 5 extra mana. It'll always prioritize heroes over minions, so it doesn't, it's okay if you don't have enough mana. You got mana, it's okay. It only costs 5 mana in the first place, so you can at least shoot one person. The damage is pretty, it's okay. So you may ask, well, why does it only cost 5 mana, and why does it cost 5 mana for every target that's hit? That's kind of weird. The mana is, there's a variable there for how much mana it costs. That's weird. I'll get to that in a second. But first, what could be a talent for this? One we thought of is Conductor. Basically does triple damage or quadruple damage if there's only one target in the cone. So you can zap one person and they'll explode, they'll die. And other talents could be that the cone is bigger, longer, it's all, whatever. Maybe it only slows them, all that good stuff. Ability number 2, Frost Arrows. This is when she shoots you with an arrow and it's cold. Makes you cold and shiver. It's like you feel like you're in a freezer. So Frost Arrows also only cost 5 mana, and it's toggled on and off. Kind of like, there's this wind? Tempest? Wind? Cold BO. Lady Vashj also toggles her Frost Arrows, so she does an additional damage per attack, and it slows the target by 5%, and it lasts for 4 seconds, and it can stack 8 times. A talent for this is called Forked Arrows. Shoot one volley of Frost Arrows at every enemy that was hit by forked lightning within the past 2 seconds. So she can do a lot of damage to, like, spread damage. If there's a big crowd of people, she got it. She make them all cold with the Frost Arrow. It's only one volley, so this is only once per forked lightning. And ability number 3, Mana Shield. Place a shield on an ally, reducing basic attack damage by 50%. Each attack blocked reduces your mana by 4. It lasts 4 seconds. So every time, you go, help me, man, I'm just getting chased down. You do Mana Shield. Person saved. And every time they get attacked, they block half the damage, and then it costs you a bit of mana each time they're attacked. If your mana depletes, then the shield is broken, and if 4 seconds pass, the shield is also gone. It is timed out. A talent might be like Ethereal Shield or something like that, and it also blocks spells as well. Now you might be saying, okay, all right, Mr. Carbot, this does not sound like a support character. This is a weird character. She sounds like a specialist, something. Why is this a support? All this low mana cost, but then it costs mana to shield people. Every time they take a hit, what is going on? What is this character? Now we come to her trait. Lady Vashj's trait is Healing Tide. What this does basically is every time Lady Vashj spends mana, she heals the people around her. Now we had the idea that maybe, there's you have to place down this pool of water, and whoever is within the pool of water, that's the people getting healed. So it could work like that. If that's too visually disruptive, you could do it maybe just a short radius around her as well. But the idea is that the more mana she spends, the more she's healing her allies. So that mana shield, although it's only blocking 50% of basic attacks or 30% of spell damage, well, every time they get hit, and if they're in that pool, that Healing Tide pool, then they're also getting healed as well each time they're getting hit. So is their allies. Every time she shoots Frost Arrow, all her allies go, it feels good. Every time she does the Fork Lightning, she's basically forking out some heals to her team. See? She's a support. Yeah. You didn't expect that, did you? So the more mana you spend, the more you heal your nearby allies. Isn't that cool? What an amazing character. So basically, she's geared around spending her mana. She's a spender. She just wants to spend it everywhere. She goes to all the malls and the stores and the outlet shops and the farmers markets to spend her mana. She buys it all. She spends it all for her allies so they can feel good. So she is geared around spending mana. That is how she works. She spends mana, her allies get healed. She continuously casts spells, she's healing her allies. It's kind of like a Brightwing, except that it is not geared around a cooldown. It is geared around her spending more mana. The more mana, not more spells, but the more mana she spends, the more she heals her allies. So that's why if we talk about Forked Lightning, it says 5 mana per target. If there's a lot of targets within that cone of Forked Lightning, you're gonna heal a lot more than if there's only 2 enemies within that cone of lightning. You see? See there? See what you see where we're going here? Talent for Healing Tide is she sells by the seashore. And if she's within her Healing Tide pool, the Frost Arrow mana cost is refunded. So she still spends the mana, but then she also gets it back because she sells by her seashore. Another talent is Tide to Go. Healing Tide can now be relocated. So you move it around. So maybe the Healing Tide is slowly moved after you command it to move, or maybe it just teleports to that location. Whatever's balanced, whatever's good, you know? But it's called Tide to Go. Her mount, she doesn't really have a mount. She has something completely different. It's called Serpentine. We use dictionary, a thesaurus to look this one up because that's the best buddy when we try to figure out words. And what this does is removes roots and slows from you, or from Lady Vashj, and increases her movement speed by 20% for 6 seconds. And she moves in a zigzag pattern. Look at it. That's what Serpentine means. You move in a zigzaggity. So it's the idea is that she's a sly snake. She slips out of the entangling roots or the ice or the whatever it is, and she scurries away and she says, you didn't get me, I'm escaping. She doesn't become unstoppable, but she breaks free from those effects. All right, let's get to her heroic. Heroic costs 40 mana and it's called Tornado. Summon a tornado. Enemies caught in the tornado are launched in random directions far away. It lasts for 5-6 seconds, something like that. So basically, kind of imagine like the Dragon Knight when he kicks you, except and you get caught in the tornado, you spin around a bit, and then it launches you a random direction. Probably not as far, because that would be a little bit crazy, but I don't know, maybe like 80% distance, 70%, 60% of distance, 50, 120% of distance, 120% of distance. But yeah, so not as much as the Dragon Knight, but yeah, something whatever works. But you get thrown in random directions if you get caught in the tornado. The level 20 talent is Hurricane. This causes a slow aura around the tornado, which slows enemy heroes and damages them as well, as long as they're near the tornado, because it's like, yeah, it's too windy, I can't move because it's pulling me. Yes, this could be good for zoning. It could be good for just like trying to get tribute or whatever, the altar thing, and you just, oh crap, they're gonna come, and then so you put the tornado up, and maybe it stalls them enough, it whips them in a different direction. Maybe you want to test out your luck, and then you do it, and maybe the tornado will throw them behind your gate. You never know, might get lucky. So yeah, it is mainly a buying time zoning kind of alt. Heroic number 2. This heroic is called Static Charge. It costs 10 mana a second. Another ability that costs mana per second? That means she's healing her allies. That's right, Philip. Lady Vashj heals her allies constantly, no matter what she does. What does Static Charge do, Mr. Quabot? Place an electric charge on an enemy hero. It deals 0 damage and lasts up to 15 seconds. Wow, Mr. Cobb, that sounds amazing. But what it does do, let me tell you the best part though. Every 5 seconds, it stuns for 0.25 seconds, a quarter of a second. So it stuns at the beginning of the second. So it stuns 4 times, because it'll stun up to at the beginning of every 5 seconds. Actually, for 3 times. Stuns 3 times. However, if there is an enemy hero ally near the enemy hero you've casted it on, the static charge jumps and it stuns them both for a full second, and now is on the other enemy ally. You over there. Now you're stunned. You're being statically charged. So the thing does no damage, but stunned. And every second that the static charge is up, maximum 15 seconds, Vashj is also healing her allies. Wow, you're so good, Lady Vashj. You heal me and you stun them. How you do? The level 20 talent is called Static Shock, or Shock Blast, or Static Shock Blast. Every time the enemy is stunned by the static shock, they are now more vulnerable for 1 second as well. So you gotta hit them when they're stunned. Now keep in mind this whole static charge thing. Once an enemy hero gets close enough and it jumps to that enemy hero, they both get stunned for a full 1 second. Okay, but then it leaves the first hero. He's no longer statically charged, and the other hero is now statically charged. See? You see what I'm saying? So it would be cool if Lady Vashj was in Heroes of the Storm as a support character. We have fun thinking about these ideas, and they're ideas. They're not the best, and maybe hopefully they're not they're the worst. They're the worst. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you had some laughs, had some cries, had some ups and had some downs. Perhaps the most important thing about this video is that we all come together as a community and feel for the first time in a long time. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/carbotanimations and twitter.com/carbotanimations. No S. And if you like this video, like it with your thumb up the like, and subscribe for more of this and other cartoons, other stuff. And thanks for watching. I'm gonna go have a sandwich or a pizza. I think it's over here somewhere.